If you're evaluating secrets management for your organization, there's a good chance that Vault is on your list. And there's good reason for that. Vault has been the standard in this space for a very long time. It's a serious tool with serious capabilities. But over the past few years at Infisical, we've had a lot of conversations with enterprise teams. Some running Vault in production, some thinking about trying it for the first time, and a pattern keeps coming up. The same set of questions, the same friction points, and the same gaps between what they're needing and what they're actually getting. So we want to do an honest comparison. We're Infisical and we're modernizing how secrets management is done. Built for developers, easy to operate with real support behind it. We'll show you what that looks like. But we're also going to be upfront about where Vault has strengths, because that's the only way this is useful to you. The best way to understand the difference between Vault and Infisical isn't a feature checklist. It's understanding the design philosophy behind each one. Vault is a toolkit. It gives you extremely flexible and extremely powerful building blocks. You get a secrets engine, a policy system, an auth framework, and then you assemble those into the secrets management platform that your organization needs. That flexibility is a real strength. It's why Vault works in so many different environments and why teams have been able to build deeply customized setups on top of it. But that flexibility has a cost. The more you customize, the more you have to customize. Vault teams end up building approval workflows, developer-facing dashboards, notification pipelines, access request systems, often from scratch. And running Vault itself is its own operational specialty. There's a reason Vault Engineer is an actual job title. Raft cluster storage, unsealing coordination, HCL policy management. It's not like running any other application in your stack. We took a different approach at Infisical, one built for how teams work today, including the rise of AI agents and automated workflows that need programmatic access to secrets without the operational overhead. Instead of giving you building blocks to assemble, we built the complete platform. Approval workflows, access requests, environment management, developer dashboards, native integrations, all of that ships out of the box, not as add-ons or enterprise upsells, but as a core product. Neither approach is inherently wrong, but they lead to a very different day-to-day experience for your team. So let me show you what those differences actually look like in practice. But before we get into the product, there are 3 things worth noting. First is licensing. Vault moved to a business source license in 2023. That's not open source in the traditional sense. It's source available, but with restrictions on how you can use it and deploy it. This mattered a lot for enterprise teams, and it's a factor worth weighing. Infisical is MIT licensed and open source, with enterprise features available for teams that need them. Second is architecture. Vault requires its own operational infrastructure, Raft consensus, storage backends, unsealing mechanisms. It's a specialized system to run. Infisical is stateless with a PostgreSQL backend. It scales and operates the way every other modern application in your stack does. Your ops team already knows how to run this. And third is developer experience. Vault has historically been very CLI forward. The UI has improved, but it's still very minimal compared to what most developers would expect from a modern tool. Infisical was designed with developer experience as a priority, whether that's the dashboard, the CLI, or programmatic access through SDKs. That difference matters for adoption, because a secrets management tool only works if people actually use it. Okay, let's get into the product. We'll start with the thing your team interacts with every day, finding and managing secrets across environments. Vault organizes secrets by namespaces and paths. There's no native concept of environments. So if you're managing secrets across dev, staging, and production, you're typically simulating that with path structures, and then navigating between those paths to find and compare values. It works, but it's a lot of clicking for something that should be instant. In Infisical, environments are a first-class concept. Dev, staging, production, all visible side by side. Everything is right where you'd expect it. And if I want to see what's different between staging and production, there's a built-in environment comparison, one screen, instant diff. I can also click into any individual secret and see its value across all environments at once. On top of that, the dashboard gives you full audit logs, version history on every secret, and point-in-time recovery. If something goes wrong, you can roll back to any previous state. For teams coming from Vault where a lot of this tends to live in the CLI, this is often one of the first things that clicks. Now, access control is where the approaches really diverge. In Vault, permissions are path-based and defined in HCL, HashiCorp configuration language. You write policies as code, scoping access to specific paths and operations. For teams with deep HCL experience, this is powerful and composable, but it also means that your entire access model lives in policy files that have to be read line by line to audit. Visually confirming who has access to what across dozens of policies is time-consuming. In Infisical, permissions are scoped to environments, folders, tags, and paths, and you can configure them visually. You can allow or restrict specific actions, attach conditions, and see the full picture without parsing policy files. And if you need path-based granularity, that's fully supported. It's just not the only option. And the access tree is where this really comes together for enterprise teams. This is a visual map of who has access to what across users, roles, groups, and environments. When your compliance team asks, show me who has access to production secrets, this is a 2-second answer instead of a policy file audit. Infisical also supports approval workflows and access requests natively. This is one of the biggest gaps in the Vault experience, and it's where the toolkit versus platform difference is most visible. Vault doesn't have native approval workflows. If your organization needs change approvals, access requests, or temporary approvals, and at an enterprise scale you do, you build those systems yourself. Most Vault teams we talk to have some homegrown solution involving Jira tickets, Slack bots, and custom scripts. In Infisical, all of this is built in. Access requests with configurable approval chains. Define who needs to approve, how many approvals are required, and for which environments or resources. Change request proposals. Before a secret value is modified in production, it goes through review. You can see exactly what's changing before it's applied. Temporary access with auto expiration. Grant someone production access for 4 hours and it revokes itself automatically. All of this integrates natively with Slack and Teams for notifications. There are no external webhook pipelines to build and maintain. And this isn't one of those features where the question is Vault capable of this? It's a question of, do you want to build this out or have it already be built out? A last and very important piece, getting your secrets to where your applications actually consume them. Vault integrations are powerful, but they're also famously involved to set up. Each one requires Vault-specific configuration, and the setup time adds up fast across a large organization. In Infisical, we built secret syncs, native integrations that push secrets from Infisical to wherever your infrastructure needs them. Over 40 destinations, AWS, Azure, GCP, GitHub, Kubernetes, Terraform Cloud, and the list keeps growing. And worth noting, secret syncs are available on the open source tier. Vault's equivalent HCP Vault Secret Sync requires enterprise licensing and only supports 5 destinations. That's on the push side. On the pull side, tools like the Infisical agent and the Kubernetes operator let your applications fetch secrets at runtime, with support for auth methods like Universal Auth, Kubernetes, AWS IAM, GCP, Azure, and OIDC. And on the SDK side, Infisical has first-party SDKs for over 10 languages: Python, Node, Java, .NET, Go, Ruby, and more. Vault ships a Go client officially and relies on community-maintained SDKs for most other languages. If your team works across multiple stacks, that first-party support matters. And each SDK ships with caching, authentication, and token lifecycle management built in, so your developers aren't re-implementing that logic themselves. The net effect is that Infisical becomes your single source of truth, pushing secrets to every platform that your team uses. And because those integrations take minutes instead of days to set up, teams actually adopt them, instead of finding ways to work around it. And we want to be upfront about this. If your team has built deep custom tooling on top of Vault, custom plugins, highly specific workflows, advanced dynamic secret configurations, or if you're deep in the HashiCorp ecosystem with Console, Nomad, Terraform, and Boundary, there's a real value in that investment, and migrating that work is a real consideration. The question for your team is whether the flexibility versus complexity trade-off is working in your favor, or whether a platform that gives you most of what you need out of the box is a better fit for where you're going. If you're already running Vault, the natural question is, how hard is it to switch? It's the right question. You have years of investment, policies, secrets, integrations, workflows. A migration can't be a 6-month project that requires a war room. So we built tooling specifically for this. Infisical has in-platform migration tooling purpose-built for teams moving from Vault. Here's how it works. You connect your Vault instance and the tool maps your KV engines directly to Infisical projects. Namespaces map over, secrets map over. You can paste in your HCL policies and the tool shows you what the equivalent Infisical policy would look like. It translates them for you. That alone saves weeks of manual policy reconstruction. And if you need something more, you can always reach out to our team for support. Now, even with this tooling, you're not doing a hard cutover on day one. Here's the approach we recommend, and it's designed so that nothing breaks along the way. Step 1, deploy Infisical alongside Vault. Nothing changes yet, your apps keep running exactly the way they are. Step 2, use Infisical's secret syncs to push secrets from Infisical to Vault. Your apps are still pulling from Vault, but Infisical is now the source of truth and there's zero disruption. Step 3, migrate applications one by one to pull directly from Infisical. Start with non-critical services, build confidence, and then expand from there. And then step 4, decommission Vault infrastructure at your own pace with no pressure or deadlines. And a few questions that always come up. What about our custom policies? As mentioned, our migration tooling translates HCL policies to Infisical policies. And Invisical's native RBAC and approval workflows usually replace most of the custom tooling that teams have built out on top of Vault. What about compliance? Invisical is SOC 2 Type 2 certified, HIPAA and GDPR compliant, and FIPS 143 ready. What about dynamic secrets? Invisical has 24 dynamic secret templates covering major databases and cloud providers: PostgreSQL, MySQL, MongoDB, Cassandra, AWS IAM, Azure Entra ID, GCP, and more. This isn't a rip and replace. It's a gradual parallel migration, and we built the tooling to make it as painless as possible. And this comparison was just the secrets management side. Invisical also handles PKI with full certificate lifecycle management, discovery, auditing, rotation, and then privileged access management as well. Both areas where Vault gives you basic primitives. We'll cover those two in dedicated videos. If you want to see how this would work with your specific setup, book a demo. We'll walk through your Vault configuration, your integration landscape, and your migration path, showing you exactly what the transition would look like. Link to the demos in the description, along with our full Vault feature-by-feature comparison page, and I'll link the docs as well if your team wants to dig in. Thanks for watching.